All right, welcome into another edition of the H&H Podcast. Henry Lake, Ahmad, Hicks from Fox 9. And where do we start this week? We start with the Minnesota Vikings because the Minnesota Vikings have us all in our feelings. And I guess the thing that frustrates me about this last loss against the Baltimore Ravens is the fact that Kevin O'Connell, I think he let the team down. We know that in sports, coaches are supposed to put their players in the best position to succeed. Mm-hmm. And I think that KOC is a really good coach. I don't think he did his team I think he did his team a disservice this past Sunday because I just didn't think he coached well.
Before we started this podcast, I was listening to another podcast just to tease that they had on social media.
Okay.
And people believe that KOC has reached his peak and that he should be on the hot seat.
Oh, slow your roll. Slow your roll.
I agree.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
That's absurd.
I just feel like
it's one game.
Thank you. You're talking about the coach of the year a year ago. I think people can have knee-jerk reactions when it comes to everything. Now, I know you have a gripe about his play calling this past week.
It was bad.
Okay, elaborate.
Well, I just think that, first off, when you have something that is working, like the running game, between Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason, I think that you continue to utilize what's working.
Okay.
And I get you don't want to be predictable. I totally understand that.
Word.
But in obvious situations, when it's like 3rd and 1 or 2nd and short, take advantage of the running game because it's working so well. Aaron Jones, the last 2 games, has come out and he's been explosive.
Right.
And I thought that he looked good again this past week. When you end up making decisions, like he mentioned, he said that they threw the ball on 3rd and short because they were in a position where they were just going to go for it on 4th down if it came to a 4th down. Well, it never came to a 4th down because you threw an interception. That's your bad, bro.
Let's flip the script, though. Let's flip the script, all right? A lot of the times in the second half I'm speaking to, they were starting their drives 1st and 15 because of pre-snap penalties, a lot of false starts.
Duly noted.
It is hard.
They had 8 for the game.
Yes,
That's
8
terrible.
for the game.
Terrible.
It is hard to continue to run the ball when you're in 2nd and long, 3rd and long. Now, I will say, KOC gets a little pass happy in third down, 3rd and short situations, 2nd and short situations. But being the former football player, I understand those are the downs you take your shots. Like he said, if the ball falls to the earth, which hopefully you're not banking on your quarterback throwing an interception, you live to fight another day on 4th down. That's when you take your shots. You don't take your shot on 4th down. Now, I do understand extending the drive, picking up that 1st down, but then your shots aren't necessarily available on 1st down because defenses play you a completely different way. And so I think when people ridicule his decision-making and his play selection, I don't think they fully understand the scope of the down and situation and the scenario that you're in. Because if you go back and you look at a lot of the plays that he had dialed up, Jordan Addison had a touchdown on one of them. Jordan Addison coming open on a 15-yard dig. Now, you're talking about longer developing plays, but J.J. McCarthy balls got tipped down at the line of scrimmage. So it's kind of like, all right, double-edged sword here because it's like if they work, well, KOC's a mastermind. He's a brilliant play caller. And when the ball gets tipped down or J.J. McCarthy throws an interception, giving his guy a chance to go make a play on a 50-50 ball, then it's like, oh, well, KOC made a bad call.
But this is the thing, though, because I agree with everything that you're just saying. But in a tight game, the possessions and holding onto the ball get magnified. We saw it last night with Green Bay and Philly.
Yeah.
Like Philly took some shots.
Right.
Philly actually made some dumb decisions themselves on 4th and 6th at the end of the game.
The last one,
that's ridiculous.
That's bad.
But you saw how both teams really valued the possessions by trying to extend drives. In short yardage situations, you saw Green Bay, Josh Jacobs, he going to get the ball. And Philly knew it. And sometimes they were able to stop him, sometimes they weren't. Same thing with Saquon in Philadelphia. So I just thought because of how tight the game was, because remember now the Vikings were leading at halftime, was it 10-9?
10-9.
10-9. So, and to your point about the starting behind the sticks, that clearly was an issue.
Yeah.
Whenever you have 8 false start penalties, that's not good. I thought that, and I'm not going to let J.J. McCarthy off the hook either because I didn't think he was accurate with a lot of his passes.
After the first quarter, yeah.
Like people were like, well, did Justin Jefferson have a bad game? No. Did you see the balls that were thrown his way? way out of reach. So some of it's on the quarterback. The offensive line and those penalties were a disaster and a train wreck. Miles Price didn't do him any favors with his fumbles. No. So I totally get that. But when you know that you are a team with a rookie, yes, rookie quarterback, even though he was here last year, didn't get no plan. When you know you have a rookie quarterback, you know that you as the head coach and play caller have to be on point.
I get that. But I also think it comes to a point where, like, you call in plays, and you're calling in 2 plays, and your quarterback has the ability to can it get to the next play if they don't see the perfect fit for that first one. You got to, like Coach said, you got to let your boy go play ball.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that sometimes is maybe he did have maybe he did have a run called or a shot taken in that situation, but they like, look, if we got one-on-one, single high safety look, like, cover zero, like, we're taking this shot. But it's like, all right, if they give us too high, then we're going to check to go to a run. So it's like JJ has the option to always go back to the safer side, I'm sure, with the run play.
I know we love analytics, but I'm just going to say it right now. And I ain't the only one that felt this way. Going for the 2-point conversion in the fourth there, that was dumb. I'm sorry, that was dumb. To me, I get that we bring up, like, the analytics of it and why you do it. You don't have to do that every single time. Like, this is like the baseball thing where you got to go with the feel.
Yeah.
You got to go with the feel right there. It didn't feel like we were in a position where we were dominating them and we were just rolling. And we're good. Like they have no answers for us right now. Nah, kick the field goal. You're going to be down by 7.
I get that. I don't have an argument there.
And it was feel. For me, it was feel. It was like, if I felt like, oh, yeah, we're rolling. We're cooking right now. Yeah, go for 2. Didn't feel that at all.
I have no argument there. That was a questionable decision. I also thought the game was over at that point. I didn't think that even if they got to stop, which they did, I didn't think they were going to march down the field on that defense with no timeout. So questionable play calling, you can say. Questionable execution. I will say that I think sometimes KOC did dial up the right play, and I just think the balls batted at the line of scrimmage were a problem for J.J. McCarthy. Starting behind the chains at 1st and 15 in the second half, that was a problem. And then Miles Price fumbling on 2 consecutive kickoffs in the third quarter, that was a problem as well. That spotted Baltimore 10 points right there. That was a big momentum swing. So I just think that before we put all the blame on KOC, I think the blame
it's spread out.
It can go around. I think the defense held their own. They did a phenomenal job keeping Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in check, and that offense for the most part. But when you're consistently put in bad situations, your offense is going 3 and out, or they're turning the ball over. Kind of hard to go out there and go play at a high level, especially when you lose to Jonathan Grenard towards the end of the game.
Are we in agreement that the Dallas Turner penalty was not a good one?
No.
We don't agree?
No.
Well, this is what I think. I think that I'm a total believer in, you don't pile guys down into the turf. In that particular instance, though, it wasn't one of those type of situations, at least to me. If you look back at it, you got guys that are kind of airborne.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Look, this is my gripe. This is my gripe about the National Football League. They tailor and cater every rule to the offensive players. Every rule. And I think the people who are making these rules are people who did not play the game. Like, because when we hear game of inches, like, it is literally a game of inches. Like, if a guy is going to make a tackle, he can launch towards your chest, your stomach area. But if the ball carrier goes a little bit lower, next thing you know, he's going towards your head. You can't make a perfect form tackle on every play. And as a former defender, these guys in the NFL, you're talking about they got to watch where they're putting their head on every play. They can't touch you after 5 yards if you're a cornerback guarding a wide receiver.
Launch angles.
I mean, it's like, and then launch angles. And then you talk about Dallas Turner, like, oh, you can't drive a quarterback to the ground. So it's like now you're putting these guys in a greater risk to get injured because they have to account for so much, whereas an offensive player is just like, go play football.
It just, to me, it didn't feel like he was doing the whole, I'm putting my weight on you. Well, it didn't look like that to me.
So this is my argument. So after my rant about, I feel like the people who are making these rules didn't play the game. I will say this. Per the rules that are put in place and established in the National Football League, clear 15-yard penalty. Clear as day. Like, there was no argument about it. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's a 15-yard penalty. Once again, the people making these rules, you can tell, have not played the game at a high level. Because how are you going to tell a guy going full speed to go make a perfect form tackle, head up, grab the guy, and then all of a sudden release your body weight and put your arm up? Next thing you know, you're putting your hands down like this. Your wrist shoulder injuries or something like that. It's too much for a defender to think about. Now, that being said, per the rule book, it was a penalty. And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, of course, that's a 15-yarder. But as a former defender, that's really hard on them. Like, you're not allowing them to go play football.
It was this week to me.
It was.
It was suspect.
It was weak. I didn't look. Yes, it was a penalty. Do I agree with the rule?
And that
No.
led to points, right?
It did lead to point. Well, it just made it an easier field goal. It took it from a 55-yard field goal probably to a 30-something yard field goal. So, shout out to Dallas Turner. That was a great play by him. Finally, he got in the sack column, did what he had to do. I just think it's hard for defenders.
But it actually, it wasn't a for sure shot, because like you mentioned, like not only does the drive stop there, they lose that yardage, and you're right. Like, there's a big difference between 30 and 55. I mean, they ain't got Justin Tucker.
I just think
Although they could get him now because he's off of suspension.
He
is,
yeah, but ain't nobody signing him after what he did, or allegedly did.
Yeah.
But I just think defenders are put in a negative spotlight, especially defensive backs. Every player defensively, they have so much to think about. Whereas offensively, it's like can't hit a defenseless receiver. Like back in the day, the guys were getting tattooed coming across the middle. You don't get hit that hard anymore. It's like now players are talking about, well, don't hit me up top. It's like, all right, well, no. Hit me up top. Don't hit me low. Yeah, don't hit me low. My career. You go ruin my knee. But then it's like they hit you up top. Now, targeting is the hitting a defensive player. Yep. Now they're getting fined $25,000 for this hit. Things like that. It's like Aaron Jones got fined the other game for using the crown of his helmet. So it's like my thing is, you're literally lowering your shoulder to go truck somebody. Like, you can't control where his head is going to be. I just think the rules that they're establishing, I understand, is to make the game safer, but I also think it's like, at the end of the day, it's football, bro. Like, and the quarterbacks play football too. So, like, if they can run outside the pocket, like if they go stand in the pocket and allow themselves to be sacked and Dallas Turner come at you, like he can't just go from 100 to 50 to protect the quarterback. Like at the end of the day, they play football too. They got passed just like everybody else. So thought that was weak, but nonetheless, the Vikings had their opportunities to win that game. And I think that's the most frustrating thing about this Vikings team is every game outside of the Chargers game, they've had a chance to win. And it seems like they were the better team. In some of those games, just not consistently throughout those 60 minutes. So another tough test coming to town this weekend. The Chicago Bears. They barely escaped that win in Soldier Field.
They're gonna beat the Bears.
I think they will too.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what offense shows up. I don't think the Bears' offense is that good, but if Caleb Williams can decipher Brian Flores' blitzes and Jonathan Grenard is out, you're talking about a completely different ball game. Yeah. So we'll see, though. That game's at the bank. I'll be there. We got a post-game show after that game immediately following the Fox broadcast. So make sure y'all tune in on Fox 9. All right, Gophers got a big one on Friday. Big game. Check the spread before we came down here. What you think the spread is?
It's 25.5. So if I'm PJ Fleck,
taking on Oregon, by the way, and Eugene,
this is the game.
Has to be.
So, and what I mean by this is the game is he should view this as this is my moment. This is the game where we shock everybody in Gopher Nation who doubts us, that thinks that we're just a run-of-the-mill program, that we're middle of the pack in the Big Ten.
Are they not?
All we're going to be? Yeah, at this point they are. That we're just going to continue to go to, like, bowl games in Nashville and Detroit. And this is where he can prove himself.
I agree.
I'm dead serious. Like, of all the games, this is the one. Because right now, I think that there are a lot of people that are just like, okay, yeah, we are just going to just – ride with PJ. We don't really have any expectations that it's going to be a better situation from one year to the next. It is what it is. And there are some on the other side of it that are just like down on PJ. I think that he could silence all the critics if they go in there and they get the job done. Not just, lose by 2 touchdowns because the spread is 25.5. I'm talking about go in and win.
You got to win. I think you got to get a signature win.
Yep.
I think wins versus Nebraska, okay, take it. Last year, USC, they end up not being that good towards the end of the year, so you take that win with a grain of salt. I think you need a signature win versus a top 10 program, especially with the way the revenue sharing is going nowadays, the NIL is going nowadays. Like, it's no more where the top dogs are the top dogs and nobody can take down the top dogs. Like, no, you can pay players, you can build competitive rosters, like you can get talent in here, and you need signature wins. Mm-hmm. You need something for recruits to hang their heads on and be like, you know what? We're not just going to get all the Minnesota kids. We need to go get the best players in the nation, the ones in Florida, the ones in Alabama, the ones in Texas, California. Yep. Like, but you don't get those type of players if you can't go to a Eugene and win. If you getting beat by 45 points on the road.
Glenn Mason had some of them dudes.
He did.
Jerry Kill even had a couple of them dudes.
He did, and they were good. They were good. But I'm saying is they had some signature wins too.
Yeah.
So you got to get some signature wins. I'm a firm believer in PJ Fleck and what he means, like, as a coach, as a program, getting his players to graduate, getting his players to go on and do great things once they, leave the University of Minnesota. And shout out to the guys that go on to the National Football League. I think they had 18 or 19 guys on the opening day roster in the NFL. But that being said, you have to win marquee games. You cannot be getting paid what you're getting paid, averaging 7 to 8 wins a year in this climate, especially when you look at Curt Cignetti and the Indiana Hoosiers, who had never had 10-win seasons before, now have back-to-back 10-win seasons. Yeah. Like, you're talking about a guy who came in from James Madison and turned this program around and is now one of the highest-paid coaches in the college football in Division I. Like, now, is there Curt Cignetti just floating around out there in the college football world that can just come in and turn a program around?
Oh, there's others. You got to find them. You got to find them.
How willing is a university to get rid of something that is, I won't say they're complacent, but like, look, all right, we got guys going to the league. Our program is better than what it was before. And it's like, why do we get rid of this to possibly take a step back?
I think they quite possibly, they might be scared that they can't find the right next guy.
That's legitimate.
I'm dead serious. Like, this is no shade against PJ Fleck. I like PJ Fleck. But do I think that you could probably go out and get a better coach? Yeah. But are they going to be successful in identifying who that person is? I've said this a million times. There are so many good assistant coaches in college athletics. So many. With basketball, with football, with all the sports. You just got to have a good eye and find that person.
You do.
Like think about like, everybody knows I'm a KU fan. Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Go Mizzou.
That program always gets it right though with finding coaches. Like,
for football?
No, I'm talking about for basketball.
Oh, I'm about to say not football.
No. Okay. Not with football. They've made a lot of mistakes with football. But with basketball, like, to go from the Larry Browns to the Roy Williams to the Bill Self, like, that's knowing that you got that eye, that you know how to identify who the right fit is. Mm-hmm. Not every university has that.
Agreed, which is why I think that PJ Fleck is the guy for Minnesota, especially what he means to this town, this state. He has a lot of believers. I just also am a firm believer that you have to raise the bar eventually. 7 to 8 wins is good. Going to bowl games every year is okay. Everybody goes to bowl games nowadays, it feels like. But you have to get these signature wins. And I'm not talking about the signature wins versus once in your career versus Iowa or maybe a borderline ranked team in Nebraska. Like, no, the Ohio States, the Michigans, and now the Oregons of the Big Ten and Indiana, when you play them, you need signature wins like that. And I think now's the time.
But this is where I disagree with you. I don't think that because I know that we're very kind of complacent, we're comfortable right now. If PJ Fleck, the way that the Gophers have been the last couple of years, if that's what it's going to be the next couple of years, I think there comes a point where they're like, we got to improve. I don't think that he can stay status quo with how his program is performing and expect to be here for another decade. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Because I think the fan base, now it's all depending on who the AD is going to be, right? Like
Mark just got an extension, didn't he?
You said what?
I think Mark Cole just got an extension.
For how many years?
I'm not sure the details.
But I'm talking about like I'm not sold that the Gopher fan base, because the fan base can turn on you quickly and get you up out of here.
Facts.
I mean, LSU.
But your boosters have to be willing to pay it.
I know. But now, did he get? Is he going to get another extension at the end of this year?
Coyle just got an extension. His contract runs through 2030.
PJ.
I don't know, but his buyout is shrinking.
His buy's shrinking.
Yeah.
No, so you said Coyle's
he's here through 2030.
Yeah. I mean, that's not that long.
It's not.
That's 26. I'm talking about long term.
And Fleck is under contract through 2030. So him and Coyle are tied together. I think as long as Coyle's here, Fleck is here. That's my hunch.
Could be.
I think that
they got to show some progress.
I think his job is safe if they keep winning 7 to 8 games a year.
Man.
Oof. I think his job is safe. Yeesh. But I think that's why I'm saying before you lose the fan base and before you lose, like, your supporters, because he does mean a lot to Minnesota. Let's be honest. Like, the row the boat. Like, he's a good human being. But I think there comes a point where, like, your fan base is going to be like, especially if you're looking at new teams coming into the Big Ten, like if Northwestern's able to turn things around, if Barry Odom at Purdue, who they almost lost to this year, if he's able to turn things around and get that back to like a powerhouse, not back to a powerhouse, but get them to relevant conversations in the Big Ten and competitive, then you kind of look at the total landscape of the Big Ten and you're like, man, all these other teams around us improving, they're also winning 6 to 8 games a year. It's kind of like, all right, well, we got. So I think that's kind of where he's at right now.
I just don't think it's a given. I'm just saying I think that everything's on the table because if 2 years from now, Nico Medved is in the NCAA tournament.
Don Plitzwater will be this year.
Will be this year. Like I'm sorry, everybody gonna be looking like, hold on, whoa.
You getting paid a lot of money to.
We got progress over here with these programs. Yeah, I'm telling you that. Do I think that it's likely that he's here through those contracts? Yes. It ain't a given, though.
I can agree with that. You got to win, though. That's the world. That's the climate that we live in now. Because other programs,
men's basketball and women's basketball, can actually apply and put pressure on football.
They can, especially if they start to turn things around. And I do believe the women will be an NCAA tournament team. I think they would have been last year if Mara Braun didn't get hurt.
Totally agree.
Nico Medved has the Gopher men's hooping right now. Some big wins, but they got to show it up against Division I opponents, and we will see how they look the rest of this year. Now, speaking of hoops, the Timberwolves have turned things around. 7-4 right now. I think they are 7th, though, 6th or 7th in the Western Conference standings right now.
Yeah, last night going into the game, they were 6th. I'm not sure if they
I think they're 6th right now.
Okay.
That just shows you how loaded the Western Conference is. No, they're 7th, I believe. I just looked at it before. I think only the Suns are behind them right now, which is kind of like.
Wait, they won and went back?
I believe
so. They
were
6th yesterday. Man.
That shows you how competitive the NBA is.
It is competitive.
So, that being said, Anthony Edwards has been on a tear this season when he is playing, when he is healthy. But the Western Conference is loaded. It seems like they are deeper now than they were last year. The Spurs, 8-2 at the top, well, one of the top teams in the division. The Nuggets are there. Like, the Clippers they're all the way at the bottom, but yet you feel like if Kawhi Leonard gets healthy, like this could be a team that makes a run in the playoffs. That being said, I feel like we talk about this every single week. What do you need to see from this team in order for them to get over the hump? Granted, we're not even halfway through the season, but it still seems like they're missing something right now.
Because the point guard play is too shaky. Like, it's unpredictable right now. That's the reason why we're looking at it and we're like, this don't look right. But I got faith that this team is going to actually improve a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest, most improved players in the entire league is Jay McDaniels.
He is.
I mean, no. He's like – remember when, and I'm not trying to say he's going to be the next Scottie Pippen. That's not what I'm saying.
Why not?
But remember back when Mike and Scottie were together, and then you had that after a couple years, Scottie took that leap.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing that leap right now.
I think it's a confidence thing. Have you ever seen Jaden McDaniels' highlight film in high school?
I think once.
Now, granted, all these guys that play in the NBA were bucket getters in high school, but
the Seattle kid.
That man was dunking on everybody. He was shooting with confidence, and I think your succession rate when you get to the professional league all stems from not your athletic ability but your confidence and your ability to tell yourself that you belong there. And I think in years past, Jaden McDaniels was always known for his defense.
Yep.
And Anthony Edwards has been instilling that confidence in him, like, yo, Slim, like, we need you offensively. You can do this. Like, go and be that guy. And now I think he's getting that confidence where he's like, you know what? I can do this. Like, I can play at a high level. And I think that's only going to help this team but can he do it when the lights are bright?
Well, right now, his confidence and his body language on the court, Jaden McDaniels walks into a game or is walking around on the court with the I know I'm a good player and the league knows that I'm a good player type of vibe. Like, his vibe is different. Like he from tip off to the end of the game, his swag on the court is like, I've arrived. And he has.
Right.
Like, everybody in the league understands that he's a problem. He is legit a problem. That's the reason why Utah wanted him to be a part of the Rudy trade, was because they wanted that guy.
I think that it's a lot of credit goes to Anthony Edwards. I saw a clip of him. He's a leader now, man. Like, as he keeps maturing, keeps growing into his NBA career, you saw him at practice calling out the guys and saying, like, look, if it's not your day, we need to be cheering for the next guy. Like, if it's not my day, then we need to go defend at a high level. You know what I'm saying? So I think it all stems from that. I do think this is a playoff caliber team. I do think they can make some noise because of the way they play defense, but they're very inconsistent on the defensive end right now. But on the flip side,
that's because Nah gone.
That is
Terrence Shannon got to figure it out.
But they are scoring at a high level right now. Over 110 points.
We ain't playing nobody. Sacramento? Whatever.
Utah
twice?
They thumped Utah in the commission.
Did we thump the Knicks? No, we got thumped. So.
All right, let's talk one more topic in the NBA. Last year, Nico Harrison, the Dallas Mavericks GM, man, did he get put on blast for trading away the star of his franchise in Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis. They traded for him. Everyone wanted him gone last year. Every fan base, they questioned that trade. They didn't know what they were doing. Then they went out and got lucky and got Cooper Fleck, the #1 lottery pick, and they were able to draft him. And now everybody was like, all right, I like the makeup of this team. They got a lot of size, a lot of depth. When Kyrie comes back, this is a team that could be cooking. 3-8 right now. Yeah. One of the worst teams in the Western Conference. And today, the Dallas Mavericks fired him. Do you think that was an overreaction?
Absolutely, 100%. Nico Harrison should not have been fired.
Why?
So now, just because it's way too early in the season, this team was going to figure it out. And I don't think he's a terrible general manager. But we understand why he got fired. He got fired because of two things. He got fired because the fan base just could not get over the Luka trade. They couldn't get over it. Like, he was.
Can you blame them?
He was never going to live that down.
With the way Luka's playing this year, can you blame them?
Yeah, but Luka, Luka though is playing inspired because he got traded.
Like, he went and lost that weight.
He went and lost weight. Like, he had to get, like, when they beat us in the playoffs a couple years ago, you got Mike Finley that's taking beers out of Luka's hands.
Okay, wait.
At Target Center.
Going back, Minnesota is, my phone finally just got it. They're 6. Golden State is 7. Okay. 1 game behind them. But yes, going back. And the Mavericks right now are second to last. In the Western Conference.
So the fan base were never going to get over the Luka thing. And then secondly, let's be honest, Anthony Davis got him fired. Anthony Davis can't stay healthy.
Well, Shams came out and said today that he had an eye surgery, which didn't allow him to play for 2 months. Like, couldn't do anything, couldn't get in shape, couldn't do nothing. And then they rushed him back. And then that's why he got the calf strain. But that has been Anthony Davis's knock, that he can't stay healthy. But that being said, if he comes back and gets healthy, Kyrie Irving comes back, with that roster, this is very well a top 10 team in the Western Conference.
And the people know that Anthony Davis can come walking in that door and get hurt doing this podcast with us. Y'all know that. That's just how it is.
He is one of the most fragile basketball players that I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy.
And he's one of the best we've ever seen.
That's what's so frustrating about him.
Yeah,
it's like you have the potential to be like one of the greats.
He already was selected top 75, yeah.
Which is crazy. I kind of
think. That was no.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think that was kind of early for some of those players.
Yeah, man. He had won a ring. I mean, just defensively, offensively. I mean, this dude going out. He legitimately can go out and get you 40 and 30.
But total body of work. You're talking about how long he been in the league? I don't know, but maybe he's had like 4 phenomenal seasons. 5.
What?
Where I'm talking about where he's staying healthy, where he's playing. Like, you got to think about.
How many years has he played? 15?
Has it been that long?
It's been close to it.
Okay, but a majority of those years were with the Pelicans. Doing what?
Being a monster.
And going to the playoffs and doing what?
I mean,
not making the playoffs.
Not doing a lot in the playoffs.
Thank you. My thing is, like, you're dominating on a team that's not winning a lot of games. Take that with a grain of salt. Yes, you're putting up phenomenal numbers. Yes, you're showing up day in and day out. But you're not winning anything.
You saw what he did. I mean, if that's the case, we could say that about who I believe is one of the top 5 point guards of all time, and Chris Paul.
I mean,
no, we can't say that. We know Chris Paul's like that. We know that.
He is, but when it's mattered most, okay, Anthony Davis has been in the league 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years.
13 years. So he got in 2011?
So he got 2014, 2015 was his first year.
14, 15?
14, 15 was his first year.
Oh.
Exactly. 14, 15 was his first year. He played his first 5 seasons with New Orleans. Then he went to L.A. So you talk about total body of work.
No, that can't be right.
Look, I'm looking at it. What are you talking about? I'm looking at it right now.
Because I got to Kansas City in 2013, and when he win the national championship with Kentucky?
Had to be 14, 15.
No,
wait,
couldn't have been.
Let's see. Hold on.
No, because we didn't go to the championship game.
No. It says he got in at 12, 13.
12, okay, so right before I got there.
12, 13 is when he came in.
Okay.
Never has played 82 games in a season. Since being traded to Los Angeles, he's played 62, 36, 40, 56. The year that 23-24, he played in 76 games, so 2 seasons ago when they got bounced. I think they got bounced by the Timberwolves that year in the playoffs. And then last season played 42 games for the Lakers before being traded. And then played 9 games for Dallas after that. So in total last year played 51 games. That ain't a lot, man. That's not saying a lot about him.
No, yes, we didn't bounce him 2 years ago. We bounced LA last year.
Okay, yeah, I was
2
wrong.
years ago, LA got bounced by Denver.
Okay.
But regardless, regardless, we know that if AD come in here right now, he's leaving injured.
Which goes back to my saying, how legitimate is he?
I think he's legit.
He is.
He's legit.
A bona fide star when healthy, but if you can't,
he's a freak of nature.
But if you can't stay healthy, you can't sit here and say.
No, I agree.
All right.
I agree.
So I will agree with you, though. He got Nico Harrison fired.
Yeah.
And I don't think Nico Harrison deserved to be fired because they tried to get Luka to lose weight, to be a better basketball player, to be a better teammate, and to play more defense. And he refused to do that.
Yep.
Then got traded. Then was out of shape last year for the Lakers. Didn't play well defensively. And it took for his new head coach to call him out in the postseason presser and say, we got to be in elite level shape. If LeBron can be in shape in year 22 or whatever it was, and he could be able to play all these games and play 48 minutes, but we got our young star that can't do that, can't play both sides of the ball, we're never going to do anything. It took for his new coach to call him out. He should have been able to do that in Dallas. Yeah. If I'm Nico, I probably make the same trade because if he stays in Dallas, he continues to do what he's doing because it's been getting by. It got him to the Western Conference Finals, but then he got dog walked in the finals. He got dog walked by the Celtics because they made him defend, which the Timberwolves didn't make him do in the Western Conference Finals. They just let him go sit in the corner and then cook him offensively. So Nico shouldn't have got fired, but that just speaks to the landscape of professional sports nowadays. It's fans are such in a rush to win.
Yep.
Teams are in a rush to win. There's not a lot of patience involved. Thought that they should have let this season play out to see how the team looked when Kyrie Irving came back. Let Anthony Davis come back if he would have stayed healthy and see what you had from there. Because I do think that if Kyrie comes back, Anthony's healthy, completely different team. They're way better than 3 wins right now through the first 11 games.
I'm with
you.
All
right. Well, that'll wrap up this episode of the H&H Show. As you see, we got a little passionate there towards the end. Hopefully the Vikings can bounce back and give us something positive to talk about next week. Hopefully the Timberwolves keep winning. We'll have to talk about the Twins the next time with Derek Shelton's hiring and what that means for the future. And hopefully the Gophers get a big win on Friday. They got a big game in Eugene on the road, 25.5-point underdogs. The time is now for PJ Fleck to get a signature win, and we hope we're talking about a win next time we tape this podcast. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll see you next week.